Hey, good afternoon, lovers. So gorgeous to be with you today. And on today's Couple with Katie show, I'm going to be talking about the holiday season and very specifically, kind of how to handle that if you're single. So let's talk about that today, shall we? I'll wait for a few people to arrive. And by the way, if you're not single, if you're in a relationship and you're interested to hear a little bit of history on me and my life and what life was like when I was single, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of that today. And I'm hoping, because I have a bit of an idea of what I'm going to share, but it's always like we never really quite know where we're going to go. But usually I'll be sharing something for everybody that's kind of the tip and the reminder that you need. So you're all welcome here. You're all very welcome here. And as you're joining, and I can see a few of you are beginning to arrive, say hello. There we go. You know the drill. I don't even need to ask anymore. Hey, Kellyanne, good to have you, darling. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so as you're joining, say hi. If you're on replay, please type hashtag replay. I like to know who's watching, and I do watch and take note. If you have any questions as I'm going, please let me know. I think that might be, is that Lindy watching? There's an L, so I'm guessing that's Lindy, and she's usually walking her dog at some point. So hello, hello. Yeah, if I can't see your name, if it comes up as Facebook user, let me know who you are, so I definitely know who I'm talking to. And if anything I'm sharing today resonates with you deeply and you have friends that you know would like to hear it, please share. Just click share underneath wherever you're watching it, whatever platform, and share with your girlfriends. Because, yeah, I mean, I remember when I was single and I needed all the support and love and understanding that I could get. And I relied on my friends to help me with that. So, oh, it's Lindy. Yes. Hello, my love. And there's another Facebook user. Sorry, it's not telling me your name. So if you just want to let me know who you are so I can say hi to you. Okay, my darlings. So I've been on a bit of a trip down memory lane in preparing for today's session because it really, it took me back in time. It got me thinking on how Christmas time was for me when I was single. And ever since I was a little girl, I've absolutely loved Christmas. Helen saying she's cooking her lunch. Nice to have you, Helen. And that's Athena saying hello. Hi, darling. Yeah, ever since I was a little girl, I absolutely loved Christmas. It's just a very, very magical, precious, special time. And when I had my little baby boy, it became, any other mothers out there will know, and if you're not a mum, I know you'll understand, Christmas became magical all over again because Santa came back, and I got to get really creative with that, and I've had so much fun setting up Santa stages, at home, and making it appear as if Santa's been, and I absolutely have loved all of that with my son when he was a little boy. And then I found myself single with a little boy, with a 2-year-old actually, on Christmas. And on all holidays, Easter holidays, all the school holidays, birthdays, bank holiday weekends, like all those special times when you're single, it feels like, it's not true, okay, but we're not necessarily concerned with what's true today because we're concerned with how it feels. When you're single, it feels like everybody is all loved up and playing happy families and you're left out, and you kind of get that voice going, well, what's wrong with me? Must be something wrong with me that I can't have what everybody else seems to have, because that's how it feels. It feels like everybody has what you want. Now, I could be blanket statementing here. It might not be 100% your truth. If this was my truth, if you're resonating at all with this, please let me know. And Kate's here. Hello, my love. Hello, hello. Good to have you. This was my truth. That's how it felt. Now, to be clear, I had several years single where I was very consciously single. I chose to be single. And I was very, very focused on me and my inner work. And the idea of being a guy with a guy was the most foreign concept. I was utterly uninterested in being in a relationship. I'd kind of sworn off men for a period of time there. And I was very, very happily single. And it was a really powerful time in my life. This was a time when, like I said, I was really doing my deep, deep inner work. I was really passionately and unapologetically creating a relationship with myself. And that felt really good. It felt really exciting. It felt really groundbreaking. I began a brand new business. I was like full on studying. I was doing all of my master coach training and various other trainings. I was studying NLP and Reiki and mentoring and all these different things that have all become, little tools in my tool belt. So I'd thrown myself into my personal development, my professional development, my business development. I was learning how to grow a business, how to even begin a business and then grow a business. Like, I was focused on so much. I just was utterly uninterested in calling in a guy. And I was also a single mom, and I was bringing up a child, and I'd never done that before. So there was lots of new stuff going on for me. And yet, even though I was busy doing all these things and happy doing all these things, I felt so single during holiday seasons. Does anybody relate? Can I get some high fives? Can I get some yes, me toos? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Even though I didn't want to be in a relationship at that point, I felt being single very deeply at those times. And then moving forward into when I was ready to be in a relationship, boy, did I feel it. Because then I transitioned from I'm cool being single, I don't want to be in a relationship, to, do you know what, I'm really ready to call somebody in. And that didn't happen straight away, because while I'd done a lot of inner work, there was more to do. And yeah, it wasn't happening, but the desire was strong at this point. So I'd probably been single and single parenting at that point about 5 years, 5-6 years. And then I thought, I'm really ready. Like, I'm really ready. And then I was even more ready the year after, and even more ready the year after. And I had 2 or 3 years there where I really wanted to be with somebody. I really yearned to be with someone. I was so ready, and so much time had gone by that I had been single, that I was like, when Christmas came, it was just a stab in the heart. Like, oh, here we go. That just signifies that another year has gone by and I'm single again. Now I've got an eyelash. That's going to bug me for a while. Kellyanne is agreeing. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, 100%, says somebody else. Excuse me, I've got eyelash. Oh yeah, I've got really long eyelashes, and sometimes they just curl in and do their thing. So it hurts. It hurts. And I'm going to speak for myself here, but again, I feel like some of you can relate. Because I was such a high achieving woman, I was an outwardly positive woman. I genuinely liked my life. I genuinely enjoyed being a parent. It was all good. So it was quite confusing to me, actually, in the holiday seasons, to have this part of me, this very tender, vulnerable part of me, come alive and be triggered and remind me that, actually, Katie, it might all be good, but it's not good enough. Because, like, this life is great, and you aren't journeying side by side with your partner in crime, and it hurts. That was my deepest, deepest truth. And that pain really only ever fully came alive for me around these holidays times. And there's plenty of them kind of peppered through the year, aren't there? It's your birthday, it's your child's birthday, it's family birthdays, it's Easters, Christmases, religious celebrations, weddings, funerals. Like, there's stuff, significant things happen throughout the year, and it's those things that make you go, oof, I wish I was turning up to this wedding or that party or that lunch or whatever with somebody. I wish I had the support of somebody. I wish I could walk in side by side with somebody. And Kate's relating. Yeah. And it's almost like, because life's good and you're a confident, capable, fantastic woman, it's almost like you shouldn't feel this way. Like, I remember there was a part of me saying, come on, Katie, like, snap out of it. It doesn't sound very empowered feminine, right? To yearn to be with a man or with your other person, your significant other, partner. But it was my truth. And like I said, I am a very positive person. I have my moments. My victim definitely comes in and shits all over everything and tells me it's never going to work out for me. But generally, I'm pretty positive, and I'm very, very good at thinking outside of the box, finding different alternative ways of doing life, of seeing the positive side of things. I was always very good at focusing on what was great about being a single parent, because I was very lucky. Actually, I shared the parenting with my ex, and so I had a lot of free time. I really appreciated that. And being a part-time parent, it was upsetting. But I found I would focus on the positive of it. You know, when my son wasn't with me, I would focus on doing things that made me feel good, that refreshed me. I would dive deep into my trainings and the learning and the growth that I was doing, so that when I had my son with me, I was fully present. I had a lot of patience. I'd been taking care of myself in the time that he wasn't with me, and so on. So I was always really, really good at seeing the positive side of it. I would plan trips, because my thing is traveling. And actually, in the Love Lounge membership, you know, my membership community, some of you here are in it. I had an astrologer come in last week, and she did readings, looked at people's charts, and it was really, really eye-opening. And she looked at my chart, and something I'd never heard before, and in fact, I made notes on it. What did I write down on my post-it note? She told me that my moon was in Sagittarius, which was linked heavily with sort of spirituality and travel. Of course, travel is my thing. I love to travel. I'm finding this pandemic very challenging at times, because I'm feeling so restricted. I can't get out and be in the world in the way that feels good and natural to me, and in a way that just literally just lights up my soul and has me feel emotionally fulfilled. And so anyway, back when I was single, traveling was huge for me. I was really, really focused on feeling good and feeling aligned with me, and traveling had me feel aligned with me. This eyelash is not going to give in. And so at Christmases, like I remember one Christmas, and I've got something to show you. One Christmas, it was just my son and I, and we didn't have anybody to spend Christmas with. Our closest friends were, I can't remember where they were, but they weren't available to do Christmas with us. My entire family live in Australia. I was in the UK. It was just my son and I, and he would have been 5 or 6. That's pretty intense, right? To spend Christmas just the two of you. And it's kind of sad. Like, the way I grew up, what I expect for Christmas is it's family, it's food, it's, you know, it's all the things. And it was just feeling nice. So this particular Christmas, it was a huge goal of mine, and I saved all my money. I saved and saved, and I took us to Lapland. So we've got this, well, what I'm going to show you is this photo album. So I tend to do albums of significant holidays, and I pulled this photo album together because I just wanted to show you this, because it's too cute. I couldn't talk about it and then not dig out the photos and show you. So we've got, look at this. Oh my God, this eyelash is really murdering me. Can you see this? There's my little boy. And there's me next to him in the freezing cold. We went to Lapland, and we did a very, very special trip where we looked for Santa for 4 days. Can you see this picture here? So that's a little toy that you got from Santa. And there I am. And he is, and this is I've got a hat on my head. This is our Christmas lunch. Oh, there he is. He's found another little girl, and they've gone to the bar to get cocktails. Anyway, so we had Christmas in Lapland, and we had a Christmas lunch, and I will never, ever forget. We'd had the most beautiful few days together. It was the most magical trip. I was so proud of myself for making it happen. And on Christmas Day, we sat at a table for two, my little 6-year-old opposite me. And we were like in this sort of hotel. So there's lots of other people having their Christmas lunches. We're having Christmas lunch. And it was wonderful. And I remember vowing to myself that day, I was like, this is the last Christmas I'm ever doing this. I am not available to do this again. And it was 2 more Christmases before I got to spend Christmas with my now husband and our family. It was a real pain point. So there I was making the most of it. I know how to make the most of difficult situations. I'm very good at it. And I'm going to give you some tips in a minute on how you can do the same. So lean on me and my ideas. And it still hurt. Helen said, can so relate to feeling that way. Yeah, she's cooking. Oh, and Jen's here. Bali. What are you suggesting, Jen? We all come to Bali? Of course. Well, we will when the world opens up. I'll be the first one on your doorstep. I promise you. So how do you handle these times? How do you handle these, yeah, Jen saying. Yeah. Hello, darling. How do we handle being single during these holiday periods? Okay. So I've got a couple of tips for you. I pretty much alluded to most of it already. I'm sure if maybe you like clocked it. The first thing though to do is to fully acknowledge how you feel. That's the first thing. It's okay to feel that way. It's actually rather beautiful because what you're doing in those moments is really tapping into your truth and your deepest desires. You're not ignoring them. You're not skirting over it. You're not using positive thinking and affirmations to make everything that is happening right now okay, because your truth is it's not okay. It's not what I want. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to be seen to having it all, to think that you have it all, to have this great life and still want more. It's okay to want more. Our soul is always looking to expand. Our soul is always wanting to create more experiences within which we can expand even more. I mean, a relationship is the perfect place for personal and soul expansion. Like, it's not all unicorn and rainbows once you're in the relationship, right? You get in the relationship and then it's like there is growth there. It's the next level. And yeah, so it's acknowledge how you feel, and that's all right. And share it with trusted people. Yeah, share with people that you really love and trust. So those of you here, and there's a bunch of you actually who are in the Love Lounge, if you're feeling any of this or whatever it is that you're feeling as the holiday season approaches, share it with the other women in that community. You're not alone. And sometimes it's really important. No, not sometimes. Always it's really important to be reminded that you're not the only one. Honestly, when I was single for the majority of it, I was the only single person in my friendship group. And I did feel very alone with that. And I just sucked it up day by day. You suck it up, don't you? You suck it up every day. You keep on keeping on. You get on with your job. You get on with your parenting. You're allowed every now and then to stop and go, yeah, it actually feels a bit shit. Actually, I don't like it. Actually, I want to be with someone. And the thing is, if we don't acknowledge the truth of how we feel, we're repressing an emotion. And you can't selectively choose which emotions to suppress. So when you suppress your sadness, your regret, your loneliness, when you repress that, you're at the same time repressing your joy, your optimism, your aliveness, your happiness. So you're beginning to flatline somewhat. And we don't want you numbing out and flatlining. We want you to be feeling your full range of emotions. That's actually a very empowering place to be. It might feel scary to start with if you're not used to really allowing yourself to go there and access those tougher emotions. But unless we do, we're not experiencing all that we are and having the full human experience. We're having a numbed out, dumbed down, flatlined experience of the human experience. And that's not really living. So it's okay to acknowledge those tougher feelings. As we do, we're opening ourselves up to, well, first of all, we're allowing ourselves to move through them so we don't stay stuck there. It doesn't go away just because you ignore it. The desire doesn't disappear. It just gets pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And that's, you probably heard me say this before, but emotional repression ultimately ends up in some level of depression. Yeah. So through courageously and bravely acknowledging all that you feel, you are allowing yourself to move through it. And yeah, you'll feel the pain. You'll survive it though. You'll move through it. God, this eyelash is just not going to back off. You'll move through it and you will come out the other side. And on the other side is a deeper level of knowing and loving yourself. And if you want to be in an emotionally available relationship, you've got to know and love yourself. If you want to be in a beautifully, healthily, intimate relationship, you have to have that with yourself first. If you want to be with someone that really knows themselves, that has a handle on themselves, that knows where they're going, that knows their desires and moves towards them, you got to better do that for yourself too. So all that's happening is these difficult feelings that come up around these times of years are an access point for you to move closer into knowing and loving yourself. And that's an empowered place to be. So yeah, first tip, acknowledge how you feel. Secondly, how can you take care of yourself and what do you need in those moments? Now, I made a little list of ideas for you. So if you don't know the instant answer to that, I'm going to name a few things and I reckon you'll take some of them and run with them, or they will spark ideas for yourself. But how can you take care of yourself? So when you have those moments of feeling lonely, and poor me, what could you do? First thing, as I said, how do I feel? Acknowledge it. What do I need? Do I need to book time away? Like I booked the Lapland trip. I mean, Jen, who's here on the call, I had Christmas with her and her family in Marrakesh one year. It was pretty amazing, just on my own because my son was with his dad. That was fab. I would book trips. I would plan out my Christmas to make sure that I wasn't just waiting for a miraculous invitation. I would take charge and plan what I was going to do. I would think about how do I want to experience this Christmas? What would that look like for me? Who do I need to call? What do I need to line up? I might have to think about that a few months ahead of time. So with the Lapland trip, it was a few months ahead of time. I had to save some money. I had to get it all booked in, yada, yada. Book time away. Line up dinners and drinks with friends. I'm telling you stuff here that you don't already know. Sorry, I'm not telling you stuff here that you don't already know. But sometimes if we get a bit trapped in the victim, we forget to take personal responsibility and take action on setting things up for ourselves that feel good. So reach out. I'm going to ignore that. I've got some asshole man. I'm not going to share his comment because he's being disgusting. And I'll make sure I block him after this call. There's always one. So yeah, I'm not telling you something that you don't already know, but you've got to take action on supporting yourself through these times. What about a spa day? What about decluttering your home? I find like Christmas time, it's the end of the year, beginning of a new year. I think it's a perfect time to declutter, get rid of all the stagnant, heavy energy in your home, around your office, in your wardrobe, in your filing cabinets. Get rid of it and start afresh for the new year. So get little jobs like that done. It will make you feel better. It'll have you feel clearer. I also find that decluttering is brilliant when I'm trying to work through emotions. So if I'm sad or grieving, or there's an emotion I can't quite access, there's something about decluttering in my home, my home and work environment, that really helps me to move through emotions. And while I'm doing it, the emotion can come up and go away and come up, and like it kind of ebb and flow, ebb and flow. So while I'm kind of doing mindless tasks like decluttering, just the emotions can come and go and come and go in waves. And it's just a beautiful, gentle, natural release. And you're at home. So it's a safe space to do that. You might want to revamp your wardrobe. You might want to get your journal out and really like write in about how you're feeling. I promise you that's gold when you find your relationship. When you end up in a relationship and look back, you'll read your journal and it'll be rather beautiful. It's just beautiful. So journal, cry. If you don't know how to cry, if you're one of those people that finds it difficult to tap into the tears and allow them to come, put on a chick flick. Excuse me, there's plenty of them around at Christmas time, right? Hold on a minute. You might want to up-level your exercise routine. You might want to do some meal planning and plan out a healthy detox for January. Like, it's only a couple of weeks away. If you want to really do a proper detox in January, now's the time to plan it. You might want to spend some time reflecting on the year just gone. So reflect on 2021 and start visioning into 2022. Gratitude for what's been, noticing what you want to shift up a few gears for the new year. Focus forward on what you want to call in. I will be running workshops like that inside my Love Lounge membership. So if you're not in there and you want to, come on over and join us. It's a good time to create your online dating profile. It's a good time to learn how to take great selfies of yourself for that profile. Do you see where I'm going? Make use of the time. Make use of the time. And then in that vein, making use of the time, this is the perfect time for doing your inner work. When you are single, you have got to be preparing for the kind of relationship you want to call in. You have got to be moving into becoming the woman that can handle the kind of relationship you desire to have. It doesn't just happen. It's something we have to learn. And there's always going to be inner work and growth required. Like, I know, I will put money on it, that the kind of relationship you want to go into is different to the last relationship you had. It's up-leveled, right? You don't want to have a repeat of the last relationship you had. Even if the last relationship you had was great, you want the next level of that, don't you? Because as a soul, like I said, we're always looking to expand and grow, where it's okay to want more. It's okay to want better. I know that you're calling in something better. Do you know how to do that relationship? Do you know how to receive that relationship? If that guy walked into your life right now, the super cool, emotionally available, intelligent, got it going on, financially stable, that good looking dude that you're calling in, if he turns up right now, do you feel confident to receive him? Do you know how to have a very healthy, open, communicative, vulnerable, intimate relationship with him? Do you feel quite certain that the triggers that you know have played out in all of your previous relationships won't come up again? Do you know how to handle them if they do come up again? Do you feel certain that your habits of behavior and relationship, the patterns that you have going on, the way you relate to others, are the self-sabotaging ways you relate? Have you done the work? Have you healed those? Or are we moving into another relationship where you repeat them again? Now, it's not about being perfect. I'm not. Like, my triggers around trusting men, My patterns of behavior, like, for example, kind of shutting down and shutting out when I'm vulnerable or for whatever reason, those patterns, they haven't totally gone away. I'm better with them. I do, though, because of the work I've done and continue to do, because of the kind of relationship I've called in, I can handle that better. I'm triggered way less. There's no drama in my relationship. Historically, I'd be triggered, constantly triggered, creating drama, like nightmare. I wasn't secure in myself all the time in a relationship. I do have that experience now, but it's because I spent time on inner work. I spent time getting to grips with why I showed up in a relationship the way I did, why I felt the way I did, why I was triggered the way I was. And I've been on a healing journey. Now, when you're single, is the time to do that work. I'm so unapologetic about it. It's time now to focus on you. Now is the time to prepare. So what are you doing on that front? Because you have time. You have time. And as I say that, I'm realizing, when you call in your person, that's going to require your time and energy and attention, isn't it? So how is that person fitting? If they turned up now, how are they fitting into your life? Is there space for them? Is there time for them right now? You have to start to learn to carve out that time. And a good place to start is with you. Start to carve out the time that you need to read that book, to take that course, to hire that coach, to go on that retreat, to do that journaling, to do your daily spiritual practices or your meditation. Now is the time to practice creating time for that. And noticing how, isn't it incredible how when I create time for that, which once upon a time I didn't think I had time for, how time seems to expand, and I'm realizing there's more than enough time for me to do all of this new stuff and focus on me and my job and be a parent. And how interesting to discover that I'm a better parent and I'm more efficient at work and I'm making more money because I'm valuing me enough to spend time with me and on me. And we need to discover the truth of that, because then you have to create more time for your person, because when your person arrives, you're not going to stop doing your inner work. You're not going to stop having me time. The person doesn't come in to the detriment of you carrying on with your life as you desire it. You don't stop your personal evolution because the person comes in. Actually, you got to up level it. You think you're up leveling it now to call in your person. You're going to up level it again when you're with your person. Time expands, but it's incremental. It's the law of increment. We have to do it step by step, stage by stage. So now is the time to love yourself enough to create space for your inner work. I could give you a few examples of how you could begin your inner work. You could buy my book. If you haven't already got it, The Self-Love Affair, it's on Amazon. And please, if you've read this and you haven't yet left me a review, can you please do that? I've sold thousands of copies of this book, and I think I might have maybe 12 reviews. One's really bad. So at the very least, go in and read the really bad review, because we love reading bad reviews. The others are all very good. And I would love for you to write me a great review, please. You could take one of my courses. I've got a couple. I've just actually finished a call with my business coach, and just FYI, my online courses are all going to go up massively in price because I'm going to be adding tons more value and content to all of them. So while they're basic and cheap, go grab them. I've got Self-Love 101. It's currently £47. It's not going to be £47 for much longer. And there's Love Yourself Free from People Pleasing, which is all around how to heal codependency. That's $247. You could join my membership, the Love Lounge. You could book into my next 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenge. That's free. It's coming up in February. You could get on a call with me and find out whether or not you're the right fit for my mastermind. Like, there's things that me here right now can offer you to help you with your inner journey. And I'm not your only resource. So what else is out there for you? What do you need? Now is the time. And finally, how do you survive the holiday season single? Well, in the same vein as what I was just talking about in terms of time, when you're in a relationship, you are going to be giving a lot of time to that relationship. Quite rightly, you've been waiting for it. You want to. It's a joy to do that. So suddenly, all the nights you spend on the couch in your PJs, snuggled up with a glass of wine, watching Netflix, you won't be doing that as much. And the nights out with the girls, you probably won't be doing it as much. I'm not saying you can't have both. And I would put money on the fact that you probably won't do it as much. You probably won't be traveling alone as much. I mean, look, I'm all for having it all. And I guess don't take what I'm saying as black and white, but hear me when I'm saying when I say to you, like, I have times when I miss being single. I love my husband. I don't want to change our relationship. And I have a good balance in my life where I have plenty of me time and so I have all that good balance. And yes, time expands to be filled with what we desire. And I kind of miss having time to read books. I kind of miss my spa days that I used to have, my weekends away with the girls, catching up with girlfriends the way I used to do. Yeah, snuggling on the couch, watching what I wanted to watch on Netflix whenever I wanted to watch it. Even eating eggs on toast for dinner sometimes, just because I fancied it. James is such a great cook. He always cooks great food. And sometimes it's the simplicity of just being on my own. So when he goes away for a weekend, those are the weekends where I do all that I just said. And I love it. So milk it, enjoy it, because it's not going to be your experience forever. So just, really allow yourself to receive all that's good and great and wonderful about this particular point of time in your life. It's very precious. And I promise you that, I hope that you'll keep a journal and be able to look back and read on it. But I promise you that you will look back at this time with fondness, especially if you use this time well. If you use it wisely, if you use it as an opportunity to really deeply reconnect with you and really firm up your relationship with you, because that is the relationship that you have got for the rest of your life. People come and go, jobs come and go, kids come and go, everything changes. What doesn't change is you have you forever. So I'm very, very passionate about inviting you to use this time to be with you and nurture you and know you and love you. And from there, all the good things will flow. And if you're lonely and if you're fed up and if you're done with this being another Christmas on your own, girlfriend, I hear you. I'm sending you so much love. I also know you've got this. Okay. So I hope that was fun and interesting for you guys. Like I said, if you have any girlfriends that you think need to hear this message, need some of the reminders I share, please just share the video. I would be very grateful. #replay if you're watching on replay. If anything I've said really resonates with you or has brought up anything for you, please share it in the comments and share it with me, share it with the community. If you're in my membership, if you're in the Love Lounge, get in there, girls, do videos, do shares, be in this together, support each other. And I'm sending you so much love and signing for a couple of weeks. I'm probably not going to be doing a couple with Katie next week or the week after because I'm taking Christmas break. But keep an eye on my Instagram. I'm sure there'll be some reels and photos and videos over the holidays. My Instagram, by the way, is @theschoolofself.love and @daringandmighty. That's my personal one. All right, darlings. Love you and see you soon. Happy Christmas.